All right, YouTubers. Like I say, I'm not a big person of doing reviews and things of that nature, but I thought I would do a little review on some knives since I'm a huge fan of knives. I've got about 20 of them, and it's probably my biggest thing is having knives. I've had basically my first knife when I was probably 6, 7 years old, believe it or not, and I've always had knives. I've always had a knife with me or on me. You know, as a if you're a hunter, trapper, or whatever that kind of stuff, and you're an outdoorsman, I mean, you have to have a knife, and you always have to have a knife on you. They're just always uses for them and stuff. So I grew up basically, hunting, fishing, trapping, and all those things, and camping and stuff. So I always had a knife. I learned to skin animals and stuff because I trapped with my dad when I was as early as 7, 8, 9 years old. I was skinning rats and skinning muskrats and raccoons and beaver and all that stuff. So anyway, and I'm always a big fan of getting knives at a real reasonable price because you always find them in clearances, that kind of thing. So I thought I'd review just three of them, kind of, three of my favorites. And I always look for a bargain. This one here, this is a West Marine knife, and I really like this knife. A friend of mine, and this is a good tip for you guys. If a friend of mine's as a second job, he works for West Marine, and he ends up banking all his checks and stuff for part-time work, and then at the end of a year, he has all that cash, and he just does gets all of his stuff through. West Marine to outfit his sailboat. So he's able to spend 10, 11, $12,000 and just really go crazy on getting all the stuff. I work the store I work at a lot of times because of the same reason. I'm able to get, good Columbia stuff and boots and all those things and that. It's the same thing. I've always worked part time. It's a good way to go if you want to work for East Mountain Sports or REI or Gander Mountain or Cabela's part-time job. It's a way to outfit yourself if you're an adventure person. So as I've always said, retail is for suckers, man. The old Kramer saying from Seinfeld. Anyway, this is a West Marine. I don't like serrated edges. This has a serrated edge, but this is great for sailing. Serrated edges are nice for sailing because you can cut a line extremely quickly with a serrated edge. What I don't like about this knife is it isn't a locking blade, but I got this for 20 bucks. It was on a clearance. It was like $50, 60 bucks regular, and my buddy got it for me at West Marine. Now, the other thing that's really nice on this and why it's a great sailing one is it's got what's called a Marlinspike, and you can use it to get in and fit in kind of prying stuff apart, lines apart. You can get in and make extend a hole or something to put a line through. That's what a Marlinspike's great. And the Marlinspike locks, but the blade doesn't lock. So that's crazy. I wish the blade locked because a locking blade just helps so much or a fixed blade so you don't cut yourself. And then you pull this back and it unlocks it. So the Marlinspike. So that's a great sailing knife, fantastic sailing knife. Throw it in your pocket. It's really great in that regard. This knife here, believe it or not, this is a Gerber, and I'll put the names of these knives up in the corner of actually which each one is. So if you like the knife or something, you can go out and get it. This one here, and I don't like to plug it because I don't really care for Walmart all that much, but this is a Gerber, and off their site it's like $32. It's a fixed blade. They were closing this knife out for $9, so I grabbed it. It's a fixed blade. It's a little shorter blade than what I like, but it's a really nice knife. I really like this thing. Great knife for $9. And the handle can come apart. It's a full tang. The handle can come apart. So if this happens to and it's kind of a rubbery material, so it's got a good grip to it, but you could take this off and actually fabricate out of wood or something and make this, put it back together, and you could kind of customize it if you wanted to. It's got a gut hook, which if you've ever skinned deer, elk, anything that you've got to gut a large animal, a gut hook is really nice because you don't dig in and interrupt, into the stomach or something like that, which is an extremely bad foul odor. So you can hook this in and run it down the gut and open up if you're doing that. It holds a pretty good edge. I've used it a lot so far for cutting vegetables, and so I really really like this knife. For $9, you cannot go wrong with this at all. This is incredible for the price. I wished it was a little bit longer on the blade, but it's not bad. And it's got a nice little rigid thing here where you could use that as a strike for a on the next one, the Bear Gillis knife with a striking plate to start a fire. So that's kind of nice, but it's also got it's nice for cutting. So I like this knife. I like the fixed blade. It's just all around, it's a great knife for $9. Incredible knife. So the other one here is probably one of my favorite knives. It's just that it's so bulky. It's hard to wear on your side because it's so predominantly seen and viewed and that. But it's a great outdoor knife. It's got the sheath is hard case sheath, so it really protects the knife. You can pop this. You pop this and you can slide this out. Again, I don't like the serrated edge. I wished it didn't have the serrated edge, but that's the way it came. It's got the striking plate here for the flint, which kind of comes with the flint, so you can actually, strike and start a fire. And that goes in and sets. But it's a nice knife. It's got a nice gripping handle, nice protection under here for your finger, your thumb for cutting. I put these added little things on here because I like them. I just like them to decorate the knives up. It's got a striking plate on the back here if you have to strike something or break something, rock apart or whatever it may be. Holds a great edge. This is a great knife, but this one was expensive. I mean, well, not expensive, but this one runs $50. If you get it off the website, I think it's like $70 or something like that. But great knife. Bear Gillis or whatever his name is good endorsement. He puts out it's a good product. I mean, he doesn't make it. They just buy his name to put on there, but it's still he endorses a decent product anyway. So I like that knife a lot. It really does a nice job. Again, this is a good sailing knife in many ways. You wear it on your hip, but like I said, when you're going into town or anything like that, it's heavily seen, so it's very visible, and I like to be a little more stealth. This is nice because it's dark color. I don't like, that's the only negative side to this knife. I hate the sheath. The sheath for the knife to set in, I don't care for that. It's kind of a piece of crap in some ways. It would be nice to have a nice leather one, but anyway, it doesn't really stand out as much as this one does. But all three great knives. If anybody would love to send me a knife, as I said, I love knives. If you have a knife or something that you'd like to send, nobody wants to get rid of their knives or whatever, so I understand nobody wants to send a knife. But if you've got an extra knife and you're looking to get rid of it or something like that, man, I like I said, that's my fetish. I love knives. I just do. I love all different kinds of knives. I've had as many as 40 or 50 at times. I've gotten rid of some. A lot of times I'll give them away too. If somebody really likes a knife, I just give it away, and I get one down the road. It's no big deal. It's nice to have other people get the chance to try out a knife or something like that. So this kind of snaps in there, and it wears on your hip. It's got a little thing on the back for some emergency stuff and signals and that. Whatever. But it's a great knife. So all three of these, super wonderful knives. I hope you liked a little review on them and stuff. Anyway, throw a comment in. Tell me what knives you like. Send me a link or something to a knife that you think I would like. Because like I said, when you're doing adventures and traveling and all those things, knives are just really important. You have to have them, not only for surviving part but just handy, just needing them. And it could be actually, they could be good for protection too. I've got, like I said, a bunch of other knives, and maybe I'll review a few more down the road here or whatever. But these three knives are great. Like I said, this one's about 50 bucks. I got this one on clearance from West Marine for $20. And this one here, if you want to get into Walmart, they're getting rid of all these knives. Man, it'd be worth it for $9. This is a great, great knife for a $9 purchase. I mean, you cannot go wrong. So, all right, guys, that's going to be about it, I guess. Maybe we'll do a little closeout here and chat with you for a second, and we'll tell me what you think of the little reviews on some knives. Peace out, guys.